No idea. The first time out,
Yeah. You guys are down 9-3.
I don't remember. I don't remember what I said at that point.
Yeah, remember the gist of the message?
Yeah. I think that at that point, and I'm not positive, but I think at that point, Lamb had gotten off 2 easy shots in transition. Just our transition defense wasn't good, and I think we had a few poor decisions at the offensive end. And so it was just, fellas, let's not do this. And so, we got to get back in transition. We got to talk better communication. Then have to execute better at the offensive end. That sounds good, but I really don't remember what I said. A lot more emphatically than that.
I know you're probably going to say every game is important, but I mean, how critical is this performance, this type of performance, given what happened Saturday?
It was good to have this type of performance, absolutely, because I thought we played well. I thought we played well at both ends of the floor. Going through it, they were off. Particularly I think in the first half, they got a lot of open shots that didn't go in. But I think that our defensive communication, I think our intensity throughout the whole game was very good. That's how I feel. I probably will change my mind when I look at the tape before we have practice tomorrow. But I thought that at both ends of the floor we did a pretty good job.
Do you think your 2-3 matchup put them on their heels for large portions of the second half? Particularly Drummond, he didn't score for like 13 minutes.
I don't know whether to put them on their heels. I thought we were good. I thought our guys executed our slides very well, and that I think that whereas in the first half I felt they got open looks, it just didn't go in. I don't think they got too many open looks in the second half, so I think our guys' communication and effort was very good today.
Yesterday, you talked a little about Hollis and how maybe his confidence has been shaken a little by missing some shots. Today, he stuck to it. Even though some didn't fall, he stuck to it, and was glad you guys made too much. What did you think of this?
I thought this was one of the better games that Hollis has played because he did so many things. You can look at the stat sheet, and he had 18 and 9. But he was key in that zone defense. He was always there in the catch. He was attentive. Not just the steals, but being there so they didn't get the shots. And supporting and helping down on Drummond when the ball was on the weak side. And so, this was a game. The antithesis of the exact opposite of what I felt was the Pittsburgh game, where he was just floating. He wasn't floating today. He was an active part in every aspect of the game. It was extremely effective, I think, in every aspect of the game.
Early on, Drummond seemed like he was having his way, and Henry really turned around. What changed there in your eyes?
I don't know that I felt that Dre was having his way early on. I think that we had some lapses, some defensive lapses. And then I don't know whether it was an either or. I think our zone kind of took a lot away from him tonight, and that's not always the case. Like I said, I think our guys were very attentive in scouting report and understanding what they were looking for and did a good job. Just I said this to somebody yesterday or the other day. Just because you know what they're going to do doesn't always mean you're going to stop it. But we were fortunate enough that we knew what they were going to do and were successful in slowing them down just a little bit with that today.
John, how happy were you with your defense overall tonight?
Very. I thought we went for long stretches. And it was just, as I said this a few seconds, our communication and our effort and our attention, our attentiveness was good.
Have you seen Henry? What's kind of your message to him when sometimes maybe the lapses make him feel like he's on an island a little bit? What's been your message to Henry when some of those things?
What do you mean the lapses make him feel like he's on an island?
Well, I've seen against Pitt. Sometimes guys aren't rotating to give him maybe the help that he needs. Have you seen him get frustrated in those moments?
I don't think so. And maybe he has. He can address. We know, and it's. I think we don't look at any part of our game the way the question was phrased, and that it's not okay. Henry was left out. It's like we are not doing what we are supposed to do. And it's always whether it's our man, our zone, one of our different zones. It's not I'm stopping him. It's we're stopping them. And so, like I said, I thought the team as a whole today, was pretty good at helping each other.
Can you talk about the rebounding effort? I mean, you talked a little bit about Hollis. You got 9. Jason also got 5. Just the perimeter players helping out there.
Well, I mean, obviously, we were bad at that the other day, and that's something we talked about. And you're not going to beat them unless you compete on the boards. And I think that looking at our games last year, I think that their perimeter people hurt us on the boards as much as their interior players. And so we knew that our perimeter players had to get out and run down the long rebounds and help. Everyone has to rebound. And so, that's been a theme with us. You've heard me say it standing here after several games. We have to defend and we have to rebound. And if we do those two things, we'll have success.
So the one thing that might give you pause is 15 turnovers. Is that?
There are a few things that'll give me pause.
One of the things.
Yeah, and I think that, we have 15 turnovers. I think a lot of them were careless. A lot of them may have been fatigue related. I'm not sure. And so we'll figure it out.
Coach, they made some lineup changes to try to, Coach Conley said he wanted to push the tempo, but the game was played out at a pretty deliberate pace, and you only had 4 fast break points. Were you pleased with being able to not allow them to do that?
Well, I think a couple of things. Let me just say this. That's a really good team. And in this league, you can lose, 4 in a row now that they've lost? You can lose 4 in a row and be playing well, and this league is tough. This league is tough. And so, I think they went through a similar stretch last year, then all of a sudden they figured it out and they go on a run. And so, that's a very good team over there, a very talented team, obviously a very well-coached team. Now, that being said, our turnovers are related to your question. If we don't turn the ball over, it limits their chances for transition. And if we make our shots, it limits their chances for transition. So, when they did get transition baskets, and I feel like it was more, there still was a stretch in the middle of that second half, and this is something we're definitely going to talk about and look at and go through, where we made a series of poor decisions on offense, where they would get a basket or they had scored 4 points in a row, and then we come down and one pass, quick contested shot. And those led to transition baskets going the other way, or transition opportunities at least going the other way. I think I answered your question, maybe not.
Those first few minutes, collectively, the team still seemed to struggle on offense. Jason made 3 field goals and seemed to really have a lot of energy. How key was that to have him sort of keep you guys in the game until everybody kind of found their way?
And I got to go back. I don't know whether we struggled on offense. I thought we struggled on defense. They scored 9 points. It felt like, in under a minute. But to your point, Jason, Jason early on, got us going, got us jump started.
Questions for the players?
Jason, at one point there, with about 8 minutes to go, they cut it to 45-39. Next 2 times down the floor, you had a pretty aggressive drive, and then you had a jumper. Can you just talk about that sequence? That kind of was the turning point in the game right there.
I think it just came within our offense. We were running something that we've been working on for a while that a lot of teams haven't seen, and they were having trouble guarding our offense.
Jason, was there anything in particular key in frustrating Lamb? He didn't have a great shooter.
I think he was frustrated because he was missing a lot of the shots that he normally makes. He was getting some open looks, and they weren't going down, and our length was definitely bothering him too.
Jason, how would you say you guys responded? After the pit loss, you come back and, this was, again, one of those type of games in the Big East, but you guys responded real well coming off that loss.
Yeah, I think we did respond really well. We know that we knew what we did wrong in the game to lose that pit, so we just didn't want the same thing to happen, so we had to come out strong today.
Henry hit some. Actually, this is for you, Jason. Found his game. So the long range jump shot, big thunderous dunk.
Mm-hmm.
How key was he there, especially in that second half?
Henry was big. He's been working on his jump shot a lot, and lately he's been missing some. We tell him to keep shooting those shots, and the dunk was huge. So for him to get going, that really boosts his confidence.
Jason, you said yesterday when we asked you about Hollis struggling with some shooting, you said there's some plays that you guys can run,
Mm-hmm.
make them open, and teams won't be able to deal with it. That's sort of what we saw tonight.
A little bit of that. He was just, he was open. It was within our offense, so the shots were falling for him. So that's what we want to keep getting on the ball when they are.
Henry, can you talk about going against Drummond, just how that unfolded? Did it unfold the way you expected it to?
I didn't really have any expectations. I mean, he's a big kid. He's a good player, so my plan was just outplay him.
What do you think what was it able to, he scored his first 4 buckets, and what did you see happening there?
He was dunking it. I mean, he was getting to the rim, dunking it. I mean, I don't think he was really causing us too much trouble. It was just easy buckets.
Was it an opportunity for you? I mean, he's the guy who's been touted as as an NBA level prospect. Do you feel like solid performance against him can help open people's eyes to what you're capable of doing?
Honestly, I'm not too concerned about that. Every game I go out to try to play my best, outplay whoever's guarding me, and try to guard whoever I'm playing to the best of my ability. So if that's what happened tonight, hooray. But I'm just happy I came and played well.
Henry, from a momentum standpoint, how important was your dunk over Lamb there that made it 51, whatever? The crowd went nuts. It didn't seem like they responded after that.
Felt good, to get that off. But it was definitely a momentum shifter. It kept our momentum going, and it made the crowd come alive a little bit. So.
Henry, you talked about this week the need to communicate, for the team to communicate defensively. How do you think you guys did in that?
I think we did a lot better than we did against Pitt. I think we came this last few days of practice. We were focused. Everybody paid attention to the details, and especially on the communication part, and it showed today in the game.
Hollis, you and Henry combined to score the last 17 points of the first half. Can you talk about you guys, that inside-outside threat, how you guys were able to do that?
I mean, I think we're just running our offense, and when we run it well, we're hard to guard. We've got inside presence, we've got outside presence. So I think when we get it going, we're pretty good.
How did the rest of the team react when you heard Henry on that big dunk, and that was the moment?
Everybody was just like, "Whoa!" on his head. I mean, it was a great dunk.
How, in terms of the way the team responded and your stretch tonight, we were talking yesterday a little bit about whether teams were trying to get you out of your game with that. How did you feel tonight on a whole, shooting the ball and in the offensive flow?
I mean, like I said the other day, I think what teams try to do doesn't really make that much of a difference because when we run our stuff, it's pretty hard to guard. So, I mean, things went well today.
Any other questions?